Hi guys, so we are going to move on to Unit 3, which is writing and graphing inequalities. So let's go over a few vocabulary things before we talk about the lesson itself. So inequalities would be the exact opposite of what we were doing in Unit 2, which is equations, right? So equations, E-Q-U-A, has spelled out almost an equal because they all have an equal sign in them. Inequalities simply means that you have two things that are not equal to one another. So it's more like we're comparing those items rather than stating that they are equal. So when we compare, then we have to use symbols. We have our less than, and we have less than or equal to. Then we have greater than, and we have greater than or equal to. Okay. If you're ever wondering about how to actually read these symbols, you read a symbol just like you read a word. So at the little end, I know a lot of you are used to saying like the alligator mouth or something like that. The little end comes first, then that's the less than symbol. If the greater than or the big end comes first on the left-hand side, then that's the greater than symbol. So we read it from the left to the right, just like we would read a word, okay? Because these are inequalities and not equal to, when we were solving our equations, we would have an answer that was like x equals 2. And that is one answer, the only answer, and the equation is done. However, when we have inequalities, we might have an answer that looks like this. X is greater than 2. Well, that means we have lots of answers because we all know a lot of numbers that are greater than 2. So in order to show all the types of answers that we could have, we are going to graph these on a number line. So a number line just looks like this. And you only have to put a few little hashtags. I don't want you to have hash marks. I don't want you to have to put like 5 or 6 or 10 or whatever. So I just would like 2 or 3. The number that you're graphing, like this would be 2. So I would just count 1, 2, 3 and put the number I'm graphing in the middle. Now, the special part of these is the types of circles. So hopefully you remember this from last year. But if you're going to have a greater than or a less than symbol, then you're going to use an open circle on the graph. Okay, and if you're going to use a greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, then you're actually going to have a filled in or closed circle on the graph. Okay, so if I go over here, greater than would be an open circle on 2, and I have to shade my line whichever way we're going. So if it's greater than 2, if my number x is greater than 2, so all the answers are possible that are greater than 2, we have to shade the numbers on the line that would be bigger than 2. So if this number line kept going, it would be 4, 5, 6. All those are bigger than 2. So we would have to shade to the right. Okay. So we're going to work a little bit with writing inequalities from words and knowing what those words mean, and then also graphing a little bit in this lesson. So for our first one, a number t is less than or equal to 5. So we're just simply going to write what it says. A number t, so I'm just going to put t because that would be like our x, is less than or equal to. So less than or equal to would be my symbol, and then I have my 5. And that would be it. Okay, let's go to the next one. A number g, so g, subtracted from 6. Okay, so g is being subtracted from 6, then 6 has to go first, and we subtract g from it. Okay, is no more than. So if it's not more than, it has to be less than or equal to. And then we have 3/4. Okay, letter C. A number x, so here's my x, is at most. So if it's at most, that means the biggest it can be is negative 10. So that means it has to be smaller than or equal to negative 10, because the most it can be is negative 10. Okay, let's keep going. A number A, so A plus 5, so plus 5, is greater than or equal to, so greater than or equal to negative 7.9. Okay, E, twice a number Y. Okay, twice. In order to get twice as much of something, we have to multiply it by 2. So twice a number Y would be 2Y, is more than, so greater than, negative 8. All right, and last one like this. A number Z minus 3 is at least. So if it's at least negative 2.5, that means it's that much or more. So greater than or equal to negative 2.5. Those at least and at most are your tricky ones. So at least is greater than or equal to, and at most is less than or equal to. Kind of the exact opposite of what it's saying. Okay, so let's switch over and do our substitution to see if our solution is true or not. Tell whether the given value is a solution of the inequality. So you're actually wanting to put yes or no here for whether or not this could be an answer that makes this inequality true. Okay, so r minus 3 is less than or equal to 9, and r equals 8. So I'm going to take 8 and put it over here for r and see if this makes it true. So 8 minus 3 is supposed to be less than or equal to 9. Well, 8 minus 3 is 5. So is 5 less than or equal to 9? Yes. So 8 could be a possible solution to that inequality. Okay, let's go to the next one. 4 times h is greater than 12 if h is negative 5. So again, let's plug it in here. This means multiply, so 4 times negative 5 is greater than 12. Well, 4 times negative 5 is negative 20, and is negative 20 greater than 12? Well, no, it's not. So negative 5 could not be a solution to the inequality. Okay, let's go to the next one. How about y minus 5 is greater than or equal to negative 6 if y equals negative 2? So negative 2 is going to go right in here. I have negative 2 minus 5 is greater than or equal to negative 6. Negative 7 is greater than or equal to negative 6. Well, no, it's not. Remember, the bigger the negative, actually the smaller the value. So this would be no. It cannot be a solution because it's not true. Last one like this, d equals negative 4. Oops, that should be y. Sorry about that. And let's put this in for y. This means multiply again, so negative 5.5 times negative 4 is less than 14. So if I plug that in, I get a negative times a negative, which is a positive 22, is less than 14. Well, 22 is not less than 14, so negative 4 is not a solution to the inequality. Okay. All right, let's move on to our graphing. So graphing on a number line, we're just going to practice real quick doing a little bit of that just with one number. So negative 1 is where I need to have on my line. Again, you just need to put 2 or 3 little hash marks. And remember, if it's negative, it counts backwards. This would be negative 2, negative 1, 0, and so forth. This is a greater than symbol, so it's an open circle because it doesn't include that number. And greater than would be going to the right. These are all bigger numbers than what we have there. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. D is less than or equal to 2.5. So for decimals, you can count by anything you want. You could do 2.4, 2.5, 2.6. You could do 2, 2.5, 3, whatever makes you happy. So D is less than or equal to means I'm including this number. So it has to be filled in on 2.5. And less than means we're going to go to the left because it's all the smaller numbers. Okay. For our next one, we have fractions. So again, you can count by anything you would like. If you want to do 2 3/4, 3 3/4, probably the easiest one. Okay. S is greater than or equal to, which means that it's filled in. And then it's greater than because the big N comes first. So I would need to shade to the right because that is greater than. Okay. P is less than 9. So I have 8, 9, and 10. Open circle on 9 because it's just less than. And I would go to the left for less than. Okay. Now we're going to reverse that because now they're graphed for us and we have to make an inequality. So when you're doing these inequalities, the easiest thing I think you can do is put x for your variable. Then on the other side, put the number that it's on, which is 4. And now just look at the circle and the direction it's going in. It's going to the right, which is greater than. And the symbol is open, so I don't need an equal to. And there's your answer. Let's go to the next one. X is my variable. 3 is the number it's on. It's going left, so it's less than, but it's filled in, so it needs an equal to. Letter C. X is my variable. 2 is my number it's on. It's going to the right, so it's greater than, and it's filled in, so it needs an equal to. Last one. X is my number. My variable. -1 is the number it's on. It's going to the left, and it's open, so it doesn't have an equal to. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions.